and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Kiranmayee and this is our house. Today is all about the kitchen. If you ask me to equate a house to a human body, then I would say the kitchen is the beating heart. This is where all the action is, all the good stuff is. I am a person who really likes to stay in touch with the creative side, even if I'm on a break from dancing or if I do not have time to do my arts and crafts or practice my music. Cooking is something that we have to do every day. For me, that is an expression of creativity in itself. And as a result, I really wanted the kitchen to reflect our personality. So I will be doing this video in 3 parts just because there is so much detail to a kitchen. In part 1, I'll be talking about the design, the appliances, and the materials used to get this kitchen together. In part 2, I'll be talking about what I have on my countertop, and in part 3, I'll be talking about what is inside of all the cupboards. So if you like to skip ahead, then feel free to subscribe to my channel and you'll get a view of all the videos that are available and you can browse through. Design. So ours is a U-shaped kitchen which is open to the house on one side and faces the morning sun on the other. One argument in the beginning was to join the balcony or the utility space, as I call it, into the kitchen and have a large kitchen, but it turned out to be a good decision to keep that space as is, and that is where we do most of the heavy duty kitchen work, like doing the dishes, keeping my wet grinder, my washing machine. All of those things are outside, and the kitchen itself is really clutter free, and this is where we only cook and store our main kitchen supplies. In some countries they call this concept a dry kitchen and a wet kitchen. It is similar to that because I do have more heavy duty things happening over there, or things that I don't find very aesthetically pleasing to be displayed out since it's an open kitchen. One major civil change that we did while we got the house was to expand the window. The window was in this peculiar horizontally long shape, but if we were to do overhead storage above that window, I as a 5'1" person would not be able to access it. So we just decided to go ahead and break it, expand it, and as a result we have this amazing morning sunlight streaming into the kitchen and making it such a beautiful space to work in the first thing in the morning. We discovered this beautiful concrete finish tile. This entire wall, which looks like exposed concrete, is actually just vitrified tile and hence easy to maintain, and it looks staggering because of the amount of light that enters this room. We felt that having an entire wall in a different color would really become the focal point of that space. So on this side of the kitchen, there wasn't much space left to do a lot of storage, and I had already compromised on storage on the other side of the wall where there was a window. So we felt that doing open ledges would be a very interesting addition to the space in terms of form and function. This is the space where I keep the commonly used things for everyday cooking, but at the same time I get to not clutter my counter space and keep them out in display. While we were shopping for the kitchen, I came across several options for the countertop. Traditionally, in the houses that I've lived earlier, it was mostly granite, and that too black granite. I was looking for options which would be easy to maintain but also not the typical black, something beyond. And that's when we discovered the various options that this material called quartz gives. So we got quartz countertop with little chips in it. It just stands out and makes my kitchen look so much more fresh and open. So I effectively have now 2 walls which required backsplashes. While one side it was the concrete tile that behaved as the backsplash, the other side still required something. Now, to just keep it all subtle and not take away from the feature wall of the concrete finish, we decided to go ahead with the same quartz countertop running against the wall on the opposite side, which acts both as a backsplash and also doesn't take away from the design element that we had planned on the other side. Wood look tiles were something that I really found interesting, and it's amazing the kind of things that they're making today with vitrified tiles. I get the warmth of a wooden flooring without having to worry about maintenance, so it seemed like a no-brainer. I really wanted to use this in the kitchen, and all in all I got this kitchen which was mostly these neutral tones with a little bit of earthiness from the wood and concrete. I'm the kind of person who's really scared to commit to any pops of colors because I don't want to get bored of them in something as permanent as a house. So since it's our own house, I wanted to keep the tones neutral and add in pops of colors with smaller elements which I can change out over the years whenever I get bored of them. Apart from all these visual elements, I feel that the drama that lighting adds to a space is something one cannot deny. It is also honestly the most neglected element while designing a house. So I was very particular that the space that I work in should have all three kinds of lighting, which is ambient lighting, task lighting, and accent lighting. Ambient lighting is the lighting that you just have on the ceiling and basically lights up the space. But when you're working, which is especially in the kitchen, when you work on the countertop, what happens is the light from above kind of shines behind you and casts the shadow of your own body on the things that you're working on the platform. So I was very, very particular that I wanted under counter lighting to light up the space, make it workable, and also accent lighting. Accent lighting it's decorative, so we went ahead with a little strip of lighting under the countertop, which creates a beautiful wash onto the wooden floor and the grey cabinet, and it really makes my kitchen look so beautiful. Appliances. The four main big appliances that became a part of the modular kitchen were the hob, the chimney, the fridge, and the oven. We did not go for a built-in microwave oven simply because it was so much more expensive than a regular oven. It did not make any sense. So I got this beautiful 5-burner built-in hob from this brand called Asco. Asco comes under the iconic appliances of Hayflay, which is available in the Hayflay stores in Hyderabad. This was on the expensive side, but I had done some amount of research on various hobs, and I was particular about the maintenance, how easy a hob is to clean, and how the burners are in the long term, how much heat is being generated, how much height the pot is when you put it on top of the fire, and also the distance between the burners when you keep a pot so that one pot doesn't touch the other. So keeping all these aspects in mind, I found that this hob was a really great option. It's a metal hob with a black anthracite coating. My previous hobs, which had glass tops, became a bit dirty and oily, and no matter how much we cleaned it, always kept a little residue of the grease on it. And if you notice, the hob is just one slab with 5 holes, and the burner rings just sit on top of these. There are no extra grooves, and even these holes were quite wide for you to put your finger or a brush in when you have to clean any spills. The grills on top of them were also single units, 5-burner stove, but only 3 grills need to be cleaned. So that's again less surface area, less detachable parts, so it's easy to maintain. For large cooking, for extra heat, there is this brass burner which creates a fire in the shape of a lotus, which is perfect for using kadhais or woks. I also like the fact that it has a small 1 kilowatt burner, which is very useful for my husband who likes to have his coffee from a mocha pot, or for cooking for my baby, where we use really tiny bowls to heat up the food. Distance from the burners also is such that the pots don't really touch each other, and there's enough room for each pot, even a large one, to sit comfortably without getting in the way. The chimney is from Hayflay. It is the Ivara 90 series. Model is Ivara, and it is a 90 centimeter chimney. I had gone through several kind of chimneys in my research. There are cassette filters and mesh filters. They're always very difficult to clean because you have to periodically remove a filter with a lot of surface area and it gets greasy. So this this chimney finally was a filterless chimney which had an oil collector at the bottom, which is very easy to remove and easy to clean. And the fact that it was completely black and had a black hood was another selling point for me, because that was the theme I was looking for in my kitchen. I wanted most of my appliances to be nice and black. The OTG, or the oven toaster grill, is a built-in one from the brand Calf. It was just about right for my kind of usage. I usually grill vegetables and meat, or bake the occasional banana bread or cake, and I do enjoy experimenting various things. So having an oven of that size within the 60 centimeter bracket was just about perfect for me. And again, I found that in black too, so I was very happy to get that. The fridge was from Bosch. We wanted a fridge with the freezer at the bottom and fridge on top, mainly for the amount of storage and easy access. It's only when you need to go down to the freezer you have to bend. So it was really a no-brainer. I feel like, why are fridges not manufactured like this always? And it's almost like 650 liters, I think, so it was quite spacious. Apart from these appliances, I'd also like to take a moment to talk about the sink and faucet. I went for the sink that's from the brand called Carousel. This is a medium-ish size sink and it does not have a drain board. That's mainly because we are not washing the dishes here. We only wash it in the utility space. This was for the cooking and the cleaning of your hands and things like that. And another reason why I liked this particular sink was because of the accessories that it came along. It had a drain colander and a cutting board that came along with it. Having a cutting board or a chopping board and a colander inside my sink was a very good way to save space and be efficient. The faucet is from this brand called Decor, and I wanted a faucet which had a pull-out accessory, mainly because I wanted to be able to clean the sink easily. But I must say that I'm not happy with this particular tap because of the extremely crappy water pressure, and although it looks really beautiful with its brushed steel, it's not serving the purpose that it was originally meant to serve. So yeah, this video reminds me I need to call them up and ask them to do something about the warranty that I have over this tap. Talk about the various materials used in the kitchen. This is a modular kitchen from High In Concepts, a very beautifully curated store that does kitchens and wardrobes in Hyderabad. I do recommend you visit that store. They're just not about backsplashes and cabinets and appliances in your kitchen. They're also about designing the space aesthetically and try to bring out form and functionality in the kitchen, which I really liked while I was going through various vendors for the kitchen. The under counter cabinets were all super matte laminate, doesn't retain any fingerprints, and it's so easy to maintain. As the overhead storage is super white and it's glossy. By thumb rule, we must try and keep the upper part of the kitchen as white or as light as possible to make it airy and spacious. Backsplash, like I said, was mainly the concrete tile on one side and the quartz countertop extending on the other. The countertop itself was quartz, and this is a man-made substance, so it does not absorb. We've worked with turmeric, beetroot, coffee. It is a great option as a countertop. The entire kitchen is handleless, so again going by the rule of least surface area, so the least number of things that you're touching, so less maintenance. There are little wooden elements given in the kitchen, like this little wooden shelf here for displaying some of the commonly used things, and this wooden hole where I keep a wicker basket. This wicker basket I got from Amazon for almost 1/3 the cost of the wicker baskets that are available in the market from the modular kitchen guys. So that's it. This was the part 1 of our kitchen tour. Don't forget to like and share this video with other decor enthusiasts. Stick around for part 2 where I talk about what's on top of my countertop, and part 3 where I talk about the storage inside. So see you around.